So I brought a guest with me to the service this morning. You might not have noticed, he's been sitting here on my dining room altar. I'll just hold him a bit closer to the camera so you might be able to see him. Here he is. And he was given to me as a gift at my ordination by a member of my sending church. And I didn't know who he was or anything about him. But he is the patron saint of parish priests. And he's called Jean-Baptiste Vianney. And the church remembers him today. And I thought this would be a lovely opportunity to find out a bit about him, as I've had this gift sitting on my desk all this time. And I'd like to know a bit more about him. So this is something about Jean-Baptiste Vianney. Do apologise for my French. He is French, and so some of these words are French, and I won't necessarily get the pronunciations accurate. But he was born at Dardilly, near Lyon, in 1786. He's the son of a peasant farmer, and with little education as a child, he worked as a shepherd before training for the priesthood. His training lasted 9 years, due, it is said, to his inability to learn Latin, and because he spent over a year in hiding in order to avoid being conscripted into Napoleon's army. He was eventually ordained in 1815, the Bishop of Grenoble, having decided that Vianney's zeal and devotion compensated for his lack of academic qualifications. That's quite a reassurance to many of us, I'm sure. After a curacy, he was sent in 1818 as a parish priest to the small village of Ars-en-Dôme, near Lyon, where he remained for 40 years, becoming known simply as the Curé d'Ars. Curé is the priest. Vianney soon proved that the best parish priests are not always those who are the best academic theologians, and he came to be regarded as both an excellent preacher and an outstanding confessor and counsellor. Indeed, spiritual direction was his particular gift, to the extent that at one stage of his ministry, he was spending up to 16 hours a day hearing confessions. I can't imagine that, 16 hours a day hearing confessions. Whether he displayed charismatic gifts or just psychological insights, he nevertheless had the ability to discern the real issues that were on people's minds and the real causes of their problems. Consequently, his fame spread and thousands beat a path to his parish, some travelling hundreds of miles. Both the rich and the poor, the famous and the unknown, came to hear him preach and to receive his spiritual direction and the ministry of healing. His daily routine was to preach at 11 o'clock in the morning and then spend the remainder of the day hearing confessions, sometimes from up to 300 people a day. I mean, that's extraordinary. Such a schedule could not be other than exhausting. 3 times he attempted to resign, I'm not surprised, and retire to a monastery. But each time he felt bound to return to deal with the needs of the people. He died still at work in his parish on the 4th of August, which is today, 1859, at the age of 73. And my goodness, he must have heard a lot of stories in his time. Famous far beyond his parish, Vianney was also respected by those who did not share his Roman Catholicism. The story is told that when in vigorous debate with a Protestant peasant woman in his village, he asked her, "Where was your church before the Reformation?" She promptly replied, "In the hearts of people like you." So we remember him today, and we might think also, since confession was obviously the big ministry that he was called to, and people felt called to him to confess, the importance of confession in our own church life and our own spiritual life. And obviously we have a confession when we begin the service each day, but also a more formal confession where we might go and see a priest and confess. I've done that several times in my life at key moments before I was confirmed, before I was ordained as a curate and then a priest. And there's a real value in it. And the practice that we have here in the parish is often if someone wants to confess, we send them to a parish priest outside of the parish, someone else. Sometimes a little bit of distance makes things a bit easier. So we can find someone for you, another parish priest, maybe someone you don't know. So if ever you wanted that ministry for yourself, please do let us know, and we can find something for you. It's a powerful moment of putting on a new mind, I guess, and putting something behind us and having a fresh start. And there's a real power to confession. So we give thanks today for this man, the patron saint of priests, and all that he brought. Amen.